Are these blue balls?
Blue balls. There's a joke about it every class.
Malia got blue balls. Hello, welcome back to Grounded in Motion, our follow-up episode where we demonstrate and we practice a little bit. So we're going to be doing a nice session today to help you release tension, kind of get your nervous system to soften, practice some nice deep breathing, and Malia's gonna help us with some
how to use your balls.
How to use your balls, yes. Before she starts going through our little routine with the balls, what is this concentrating? What is this focused on releasing? How is
We're gonna focus on your low back and your glutes today.
Okay, and I'm gonna do a little bit of gentle forward flexion prior to her starting, which will also focus a little bit more on your low back, your hamstrings, and of course your glute will stretch. So everything in nice alignment. You'll always make sure that you are doing this in the best form and posture possible. And yeah, anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
Relax, let's have fun. Let's just do this.
Open up my back.
Yeah.
Excited.
Okay, so you can lay down on your mat. We're gonna start in seated. And I'm gonna add some just gentle visuals for you to look at, just in case you do wanna look at this on your TV screen as you're meditating. You open your eyes, you see some relaxing visuals. So you'll see me gently drift off the screen, but we're going to start with some mindful breathing and just traveling the breath all throughout the upper body and becoming aware. And then we'll do the gentle stretching and start with the rolling ball.
Perfect.
So, all right, let's get started. Get comfortable, seated or laying down. You're gonna relax your palms to face up on the thighs, knees, and you're going to lengthen gently, whether seated or laying down the back of the neck, the legs a little bit. You're gonna feel almost like you're stretching yourself gently apart. The base of the neck lengthening and the spine lengthening a little bit, even as you're laying down, because sometimes we can stay a little scrunched. Now you're gonna start to gently notice how the breathing is traveling in through the nose, down through the throat, into the chest, the belly, the diaphragm expansion. And this is the rhythm and the way your breathing travels. And allow yourself to take gentle breaths, not forceful. Inhaling. Allow yourself to notice. And as you're practicing your breathing, practice inhaling gently a little more and slowing the exhales down. Continuous form of breathing where it's a soft inhale. No expectations, but a gentle exhale, seeping air out through the nose, letting it go slowly. Now bring hands gently where the ribs in the front of your body are. And allow yourself to feel this area gently expand a little east to west. The same gentle breathing where it's inhale and soft exhale. Now bring the hands onto the side of the ribs a little bit and take gentle wide breaths east to west. Just practicing this expansion, making space from within. It's almost like an internal pump. You're allowing yourself to create internal decompression. Without this, our joints in the spine are stagnant. There's no movement in the spaces in between the ribs. Therefore, your breathing becomes stagnant and compressed. Practice that east to west breath. Now, if you're seated, you're going to place one hand at the belly, the other hand gently, the back of the palm, to your back, soft. Relax it. It doesn't have to be right behind the ribs. It can be at the low back. But now you're going to take nice deep breaths into the hands, both in front and back. And if you're laying down, what you're going to do is keep your hands on the belly, but feel your breathing gently expand on towards the ground. We only have about another minute or two. They say it takes about 5 minutes to allow the cerebrospinal fluid to start to flow into the brain. This almost creates a flushing effect. Allow 2 more, inhaling, exhaling. One last one. And then the palms will release the face up, whether laying down or seated. Relax the fingertips, move the fingers a little, be aware of the hands. And then together we'll take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and a gentle sigh through the mouth. So it's inhale nose. Ah. 2 more. Letting it go with a soft, audible hum. One more to vibrate tissues. Inhale. Breathe freely, naturally. However it may come to you, and know that for you to be able to release the tissues, to soften your fascia, you want to have this introspection, this state of just being aware and working on breathing and practicing a gentle, calm state. No expectations. It's a practice, and it takes time sometimes. But we're here to give you the tools so you can practice this form of breathing at any point. Now go ahead and come to lay down on your back when you're ready. If you're seated, if you're laying down on your back, just go ahead and hug your knees in towards you. And then you keep that awareness of breath where you're still inhaling and exhaling. You never let it slip away from you. Why would you hold the breath? You know it's massaging you. You know it's giving you benefits. So come into peace with it and invite it. Bring it in. The legs are relaxed, swaying side to side gently. And then you'll set yourself in the center. Lengthen the left leg all the way through. Keep the right knee in towards you. Flex your left foot as if to lengthen your left leg gently. And practice that nice dorsiflexion. Very good for your feet. The toes are stretching away. And then taking the deep breaths. You have your external stretch, and then you have your internal work of your inhalations and exhalations. The back is relaxing. You're lengthening it through that knee to chest, and you're breathing into it to decompress it even more. Grab the back of that right hamstring and lengthen that right leg straight up and flex that right foot towards you. The knee is a little soft, it's relaxed, it's bent, and that softness in the knee is going to allow you to draw it in more gently, almost letting your femur set. Sometimes we're almost used to wanting to straighten the leg. Keep that knee softer, even softer. Yes, and flex the foot. Focus on that flexion more. Beautiful. Inhaling and exhaling. Now fascia through the foot, through the calf, through the hamstring, through the back. One more deep breath. And then lower that heel down and go and stretch over to a simple twist. Left hand on the right thigh, and you gently stretch it to the side. Now gently reach your right hand overhead. I don't want you to twist too hard into the spine. I want you to focus more on length and gentle breathing. And if your hip feels good and everything feels good, place your hand on top of that knee and thigh, and you assist in gently stretching to the side. Once again, you and your breathing and the expansion into the right rib cage now to allow you to decompress in specific that area. Gently roll it to the center, and then you're gonna bring the left knee in, hug the right, give them both a nice stretch, and you gently transition into the other side. Releasing the right leg, keeping the left knee in. Set yourself for a moment. You say for stretches to be effective, you need to hold for at least 30 seconds. So allow yourself to practice the hold, and your breathing gives you enough time to practice some cycles of the breath. The right foot is flexed and the left knee is neither in nor out. It's gently placed onto the side of that left rib. And that allows you to softly stretch it in, letting your femur set in the socket of your hip. And then interlace the hands behind. Perfect. And the flexion of the foot. She kept the knee soft this time. And she's focused on that dorsiflexion, which will give her that release through the ankle, the calf, and the hamstring. And the deep breathing. I'm going to cue you to imagine your ribs relaxing down, and your awareness of the breath is in that expansion towards the ground. So you're inhaling. One more. And then you can slowly lower that heel down and guide that left leg with your right hand over to the right side. Remember, you're gently placing it and the arm reaches overhead gently, breathing into the side body. I'm not too crazy so much about hard twisting because it kind of twists the joints more than anything versus lengthening more into the tissues. So try not to be aggressive with the twist. Think more of length and breath. Very simple poses that we just kind of bypass too quickly and not breathe into. So this is your 2.0 version of this. It's a little bit more upgraded. And then gently you release towards the center, rolling back to the middle. And then you can gently come and take a seat on your sit bones. Now, this can be accessible to anyone. You can do it seated. I'm actually gonna do little bits so you can see how it's done seated. But remember, you can do it on a seated position or in a chair or just on your mat. So you're going to lengthen your legs straight forward. You're gonna go to the side so they can see you. Beautiful. All right, and then it's kind of interesting sometimes. Sometimes we have to almost scoot the booty out and back. So you always want to imagine those thigh bones kind of pulling back into the socket of your hip whenever you're doing these stretches. And you want to make sure the feet are nice and straight. Now you're going to bring your legs a little bit closer towards each other so the feet much more beautiful. And you're going to soften the knees. Malia likes to lock the knees a lot more than I would expect it. Bend the knee. Bend the knee much more, so you're gonna release it. Yes. Now focus on that dorsiflexion. Toes towards the nose. There you go. Beautiful. Now you're gonna lift and lengthen your spine. You're gonna put your hands on the side of your mat. You're gonna take a nice deep breath where you're pressing your spine up and away. Breathing length all throughout. And then she's gonna start to hinge through the hip gently and start to place her hands on top of her shin. And she's gonna focus a lot on the chin to the throat, which is very hard for me to do myself because my back is very tight. It really locks even the base of the neck. So she's gonna look even more towards her belly, towards her bra. So you're gonna let it go.
And that's my boobs, dude.
to the boobs. Guys, don't wear bras. So if you're a guy watching this, just look down to your belly. And then beautiful. And then sometimes here I can see Malia has a little bit more stronger left side. The right side is a little bit different. So Malia is gonna focus on bringing her ribs gently back, softening her shoulders down, pulling the chin even more, and then hinging a little deeper to just stretch. And then once again, the breathing, the inhale and the exhale, you're exposing this mid-back thoracolumbar junction. You're gonna take nice giant breaths into it. Now, there's something about closing the front line of the body that I am okay with when it comes to wanting to direct the breath here, because sometimes, unless we flex and unless we kind of close this, we won't even be able to expand into this. Beautiful. Now she's gonna lengthen her hands a little bit more. Remember, stretches are meant to be held. This is more of a chill stretch flow, so you could hold a little bit longer, about a minute. So. Beautiful. Now she's gonna bend her knees even more. Bend them, bend them, bend them. Flex the feet towards your nose. Beautiful. And then grab the tippy tops of your feet. She had to bend the knees a lot to get there. So this is such a good example because a lot of my knee locking yogis, they compensate a lot, but softening the knee here, Malia is more focused on bringing the belly against the thighs, which gives her that forward flexion, and she's gonna take. I'm gonna have her breathe a little deeper because she's tight back there. Try. One more. Beautiful. And then break. Release. Now she's gonna go ahead, keep the left leg lengthened, place the right foot on the ground, flex the left, squeeze the right inner thigh towards the left, and wrap her left arm around tightly. Belly pulls back, 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 back. Beautiful. She's gonna place her right hand right behind. Once again, poses that we see in yoga a lot, but we're throwing in the alignment. I threw in that flexion of the foot. Malia is gonna soften the knee, which is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and stretch her foot a little bit to help her work a little bit more. Maybe if you have a partner or something like with you, you can have them stretch your toes a little bit. Nice deep breathing, inhaling and exhaling. So I'm gonna work on her feet because she's gonna work on me next. My ankles are stiff.
Where do you want it to go?
There you go. And then release. Good. Now you're gonna let that knee come to the side. So she's gonna let that knee fall to the side, lift and lengthen your spine, pull your booty away from into the mirrors behind us. There you go. You have to adjust. Soften this knee, hinge forward, and then reach towards your foot. Perfect. Chin to the throat, looking down to the knee, softening the shoulders, much needed. Malia did an awesome dance class this week. So dance requires you to be very extended. Sometimes this is a more forward flexion flow, which I like forward flexion. If done right, you can definitely do it. So you can feel how there's tension and tightness all throughout that thoracolumbar junction, which is where the extension, the hyper rib cage flare happens. Hyperlordosis happens. And then gently release, come to lift back up again. All right, let's go to the other side. Flex this foot. This one flexes much more. This one moves much more. Perfect. Soften that kneecap. Beautiful. Inner spiral and inner spiral both of the thighs. Isn't that your brand is perfect. It's like inner spiral your thighs. This is gonna be my forever cue. But this gets everything lined up. And as you can see, it gets her legs more in. So this, if you're working on twist and rotation, is also a very big cue for yoga teachers. Just inner spiral their thighs. Just nice deep breathing. This one has much more flexion than this foot. Like Robert said, it's the teacher's breathing that makes the students breathe. And then release. Drop that knee to the side. Beautiful. Lift and lengthen your spine. tuck the booty bones, and then go ahead and forward flex. Noticeable difference on this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a big time difference. That left side is totally different. But that was what I mentioned in the beginning that I saw your left side right there. Your left ankle is so tight. Like just the left, from the left ankle to the thoracolumbar junction, it's just fascia tissue that's like, ah.
It's true. Ask my acupuncturist.
You need little soldiers drilling in there. Breathing.
I can tell you the exact one. It's right there.
Yeah, you're gonna grab here. So since it's very tight on that area, what she's gonna do is gonna look down. She's gonna turn her head a little bit to the right side. She's gonna imagine wrapping her left rib cage over to the right side, breathing once again very deeply. And believe it or not, it looks very straight like this here. That rib is so pulled that way.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Huh? Yeah. And then, but she's already looked, the flexibility is already increasing, or the elasticity of the fascia, better said. I don't think flexibility out there, but it's just a programmed word, you know? It's just a pop word. Head. Relax. This is such a hard piece that I wish I had someone do for me, because once you do that, the whole spine lengthens a little bit more. The spine is a whole tail, okay? It moves all together. So it's like the dog wags the tail. It goes as a whole. And then gently release and relax. And we're going to finish with the knee together, toe together pose, laying down on the back with your ribs down. So knee together, toe together. Knee together, toe together pose. You're gonna lengthen. My clients know that one. Okay? Malia's sweating from just stretching through those.
That's so good.
Is the rib going down? Yeah, I had to flex you a little bit.
How bend?
All right.
How bend?
She's processing, you see? The tissue release and the breathing, you know, both
bent?
very good. So she's gonna inner spiral her thigh, inner spiral the thigh, and honestly, you lengthen to as much as you can. Everybody's different and every day is different. So don't expect your body to be the same every day, because remember, even how stressed you were the day before will depend how tight you will be the next day. So you're just gonna give yourself a soft knee bend. The thighs are internally rotating, and then Malia is gonna gently give herself like a little hug, like you're kind of hugging yourself a little bit, like a wrap around. And the little hug is for her to just kind of breathe away from her forearms, kind of let the breath go into that opposite direction. Like I mentioned, sometimes you need to close the anterior part to allow the breath to kind of go and flow, not in a forceful way, but in a more downward pressure way. Perfect. Beautiful. Give yourself about 2 more deep breaths. One last one. And then release. All right, one last breathing round. We're gonna do cat-cow, which everybody does. I'm gonna grab the yoga block. I'm gonna give it to Malia. She's gonna put it in between the inner thighs. You can grab pillow, yoga block. So come into a comfortable kneeling position. Make sure that you don't feel discomfort in your kneeling. And then you're gonna go ahead and round and curl. Perfect. So she's going to take a nice inhale to round and curl and squeeze her inner thighs towards the block. And then she's gonna release neutral. She's gonna release neutral. I'm not gonna put her into the extension. And then she's gonna round and curl again under the bra line area, or the first rib, the first abdomen. You take a nice deep breath here. And then she's gonna release neutral. Beautiful. And then she's gonna go for 2 more. She's gonna round and curl, inhale. Lifting the ribs. Releasing neutral. She's gonna go for one last one. Imagine I was there at home with you, lifting your ribs up and away from the ground. And release neutral. Great, good job. We're done with this mini part and we'll get into the next one. So Malia will be up next and I will be the model. I'm excited. So.
Oh, my foam roller's next door.
Go ahead, grab it.
I'm not running next door.
Oh, next door. Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
No worries.
What, are you ready?
Hold on.
All right. I'm gonna get a sip of coffee.
Perfect. Good. All right. You ready?
Excuse me.
I ain't ready yet. Oh, everything cracks. Okay. So,
Oh, I needed that so bad. It's so tight.
oh, you look relaxed.
That left side is...
Yeah, the left ankles, they're like,
Well, and it starts right up here,
absolutely.
goes right to here, and then I don't feel much through here, and then my calf.
It's like locked.
Yeah, I'm just constantly doing acupuncture,
Guasha.
guasha, and cupping.
Yeah, to kind of move that area. Okay, so this is nice, you know, you guys get a double, you know. We have to experiment on each other, but you guys get to do both. So hope you guys are ready for the fascia release.
So we're gonna use a Coregeous ball, which is like a Pilates ball. If you don't have one of those, it's fine. But I wanna teach you these techniques. You can get them on Amazon because this is really good, especially for your low back. Again, if you listened to the podcast before, you know that this is so good to release that parasympathetic nervous system and bring you into a rest and digest. So just a few minutes after work or a few minutes at the end of your day while you're watching TV, put your phone down and get on your balls. So we're gonna do, and then we're gonna use the tune-up balls. That's what I have. You can have small massage balls. I prefer not to have tennis or lacrosse balls because they're too hard. These balls are pliable. They're gonna give with the body and work with the body, whereas the other two suggestions aren't going to. And then if you're doing anything in the body and it's a hell no, don't try to beat the muscle up or that area up. Your body will always win and continue to stay locked down. What happens when we get a hell no from the body is that we work uptown, downtown, around town, and around that area. And if we usually can get around that area, we'll get that sticky spot to soften. So if you run into a hell no, it's just a hell no for today and this moment, and it doesn't have to be forever. Okay, I think that's all I got.
Cool, I'm ready to get this.
So we're gonna do the low back and glutes, and we're going to start with the Coregeous ball. And now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna ask Nanette to lay on the ball, but what I want to do, like if I was to twist this on my clothes, right, it gathers my clothes and spirals them. That's what we're gonna do to her low back. So I'm gonna ask you to pull your pants down a little bit. The ball's gonna go right here when you lay down.
Okay. So I'm guessing the tissues have to be, the skin has to be exposed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Skin exposed on this ball. This way the ball can grip and grab the skin. And then Nat's gonna put a picture up so you'll see that. But this is the thoracolumbar, and it's a huge triangle of fascia. It's a huge area where a lot of connective tissue is coming in together. Also, where your pelvis is, the lats are coming down, which are huge stabilizers of the low back and mid back up to your arms. And then you go into the pelvis with all your glutes and all of that. So she's just going to let everything relax down. Imagine your body just melting like butter on hot corn, like corn on the cob, you know how it just melts down? Your body's just melting down, and you're just gonna hang out there for a minute. This is signaling to your body, like, hey, I'm gonna work on you. Is this safe? And we're going to use like the mantra, my breath is my home. So a few breaths, letting your hips relax down. It's like your tailbone and butt is going into a very anterior tilt, pouring the water out of the basin of the pelvis. I'm gonna come in and straighten the neck out a little bit. And what's gonna happen is that she's now gonna leave the ball there, and that's gonna be the fulcrum, and she's gonna rotate her body. So her torso is going to go to the left, her legs are gonna go to the right, but she's gonna walk them. They're not gonna fall, they're going to walk.
This?
Yep, and then you're walking this way,
Okay. Okay, like this.
like your whole body.
Oh, this like here?
Yep. So she's pivoting
Oh, I feel it.
on.
I feel it.
You feel it gripping your skin?
Yeah, I feel it.
Yep. So we're gonna put a picture there of like a blanket. I'll tell you the image I want. So it's gripping her skin and it's lengthening it, much like when you do dry needling and they put the needle in and twist the needle to grab the fascia. We're doing the same thing, but just externally.
Cool.
She's gonna take a few breaths there. We wanna make sure our pelvis is level here because it might tilt a little bit based on what's happening in the body. And then we're gonna do it to the other side. So you're gonna walk your legs to the left and shimmy your torso to the right.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the camera and show you guys better. Oh, this is the side. Hold on, I'll be back. Oh, wait, where were we?
Okay, we'll start center.
All right. Pause, quick pause. Perfect. Oh, that's perfect, guys. Okay. And then,
Now walk your legs.
okay.
So she's walking her legs and her torso, right? You have to shimmy and move. The ball stays center. And it's gripping her skin and twisting it, just gently. And she's gonna drop this left hip just a smidge. And she's just gonna take like 2 or 3 deep breaths there. My breath is my home.
My breath is my home.
There you go. And your body is going to slowly begin to unwind. And you're gonna allow the muscles and the tissue and the tension, that tightness, to relax. You can tell yourself, my breath is my home, I am safe. Right, when we begin to tap into that nervous system regulation, okay, you're gonna go to the other side now.
Okay.
We're just gonna do it one more time each side. Okay. When you tap into that relaxed state and you tell yourself you're safe, you can begin to rewire that feeling of safety. You can begin to create the belief of being safe. So you got about 3 breaths in each position. We all breathe a little differently. Your breath is probably starting to slow down a little bit, become a little bit deeper. You're beginning to knock on that parasympathetic door, although you probably did the breathing with me, so you're definitely in a more chill. And then Nanette's gonna walk it to the left, torso to the right. And you'll notice she has more room. The fascia is given a little bit, so she can twist a little bit farther. Take your legs a little bit more to the left. Good.
So my head is crooked.
Yeah, her head is a little crooked today. And then after this third one, you're gonna come back to center. You're gonna move the ball down just a smidge, so you can just move the ball or walk yourself back a little bit. And we're gonna do cat-cow just with the pelvis on the ball. So you're going to tuck the pelvis. Try not to use a lot of muscle. Obviously you need to use some muscle, but don't think of gripping and gripping and gripping. Just think of pulling your pubic bone towards your nose. There'll be a slight squeeze of the muscles, but don't think of really squeezing, squeezing, and squeezing. How far can you pull? And then you're gonna let it go and go into an anterior, like the pelvis wraps around the ball. And then a few more times. Tuck the pelvis, pull, 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 pull. And then release. And then one last time. And the pelvis sinks down into that anterior tilt. Yep, let it pull. You're anchored here through your upper shoulders, so let the pelvis kind of pull and stretch all those back muscles a little bit, just until you reach that edge of it, maybe feeling a little like too much, a little sensation begins to arise. And right at that edge, I just want you to breathe there. Nice. Now what she's going to do is she's going to actually flip over onto her belly, keeping the ball in that same spot roughly. And she's going to lay on her belly, right in between your two hip points. Good. The head can be nice and comfortable. You can just do like alligator hands. She's going to lengthen the back of the neck, so she's going to place her forehead down so that she gets this nice length through here. And she's just breathing on every breath. It's like there's just her ball, the ball is going like through her pelvis. And then we're going to rock side to side. Your pelvis is going to like drop off the side of the ball, and then you're going to rock it to the other side. Again, very sensitive area in the body, moving gently, breathing. And then the next time she comes to, that would actually be her right, she's gonna hang out there for 2 or 3 breaths. Really breathing big and expansive. And what happens is you're breathing so big that you're moving and you're letting everything expand and lift up. And then on the exhale, you're letting everything just melt back down. And then after that 3rd breath, she's gonna drop the hips to the left. She's gonna let her legs relax. Her feet relax. There you go. She's gonna let the breath begin to get a little deeper. And then this last one, she'll come back to center. And we're going to now lay on our side, either side, not picky. And we're gonna place the ball right above the pelvis. So you're gonna lay over the ball. If you have one of the inflated balls, you're going to, you might need to deflate it a little bit, and that might be more accessible. And she's just gonna breathe into the ball. And on the exhale, she's gonna melt into the ball. And this next one, I want you to bring your top hand onto your rib cage. You'll feel yourself take a really big breath. And then on the exhale, I want you to help your ribs, and I want you to push your ribs down, 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 down. Good, one more time, just like that. Nice. And then we are gonna transition onto the belly, and she's gonna place the ball now right at the top of her ribs, right where they begin to move and flare out to the side. So we're getting a little into that thoracic. She's gonna bring her forehead down, letting the back of the neck lengthen. It's almost like the head kind of rolls forward. Shoulders are soft. And the rib kit, the ball is helping to flex through here. And you're just gonna take some deep breaths here. Think of breathing like a water fountain, up through the back of the heart, up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, you just soften and melt right back down. Relax your feet, untuck your toes, relax your glutes. Notice where the body may be gripping and holding on. That's just some information. And then use your breath to allow it to soften right to that edge where it feels safe. My breath is my home. And then we're just going to transition to the other side. So you're gonna lay on the side that you didn't. It's gonna come back down in between the ribs and the hips. So this is really nice for my friends who have any oblique or tight lateral body, QL. Psoas is really nice. You're just gonna let everything breathe. And as she exhales, she gives just a little support to the ribs. The jaw softens, the feet relax. Relax your feet. Yep. There you go. And sometimes, depending on what we're doing, we can take this into a really beautiful twist. We're not going to do that today, but there are so many other places to explore. This is just a great place to start. And then we are going to come onto the back. We're going to switch the balls. So we're going to move. These are not the small ones. These are the medium ones and the yoga tune-up balls. They're my blue balls. So she's going to lay, and this is what's so important in the difference between foam rollers and the balls. If she was to lay on a foam roller, she might get some of that tissue, but she's going to be laying on her spine a lot. These are going to bypass the spine and really nail all of the muscles that are next to the spine, connecting to the spine, over the spine, all of that.
Where are we starting?
You're going to lay on your back and you're going to put the balls. So she's going to put the balls on either side of her spine, just above the pelvis. So if the balls feel like they're on firm, hard bone, you're going to move it up. It should be fleshy and soft. They're next to each other like a taco with your spine. Yeah.
You want to get your phone and take a little video with your phone so they can see it?
Where's my phone?
And
There it
then,
is.
yeah, just do like a little, do it the long way, like the YouTube way. And then just
Like this?
Yeah, and then just so they can see it here. And then I'll put it there.
Now Nanette's going to do the cat-cow. So she's going to leave the balls there and she's going to tuck her pelvis, rolling it up. Not so much lifting into a bridge. How much can you pull your pubic bone without lifting?
How much?
And then let it dip down into an anterior tilt. And then one more time, pull that pubic bone toward the nose. Think of lengthening the low back down and into the balls. Yep. And then release it down. And now she's just going to lift her hips up a little and she's going to sway side to side. Her knees stay there and her feet are she's using her feet to guide her hips side to side. And it's going to be a little bit bigger. I want you to move like you were trying to move your hips to the side of the mat. Good. So I want you to move your hips. Good. And now move them all the way over. So the balls are going across the top of your pelvis. Side to side, keep going. Just find a nice smooth rhythm. There's no set pace here, just slow down. This is not a fast movement. One last. And then you'll come back to center. And we're gonna now bring the balls down into the pelvis. So not the squishy glutes. You're gonna put it right on the top of the sacrum. So it'll be a little bony. And you're gonna find a sweet spot. It'll be like maybe we put up a picture of the pelvis.
Yeah.
We're gonna put them inside, closer to the, hold on, what am I trying to say? Oh, you know what?
In the sacral doors, like in the little creases.
Oh, a door is a good word. Hold on.
Oh, I get it. I know what you mean. Oh, there you go.
So we're gonna bring the balls right where the ilium attaches to the sacrum. So it's inside like the SI joint as opposed to the outside. And we're gonna sit there for a minute. We're just gonna let the balls do their work. A little compression. This is a very sensitive area for people, the pelvis, especially with the SI joint. This can be really nice to help soften the muscles and release the tension. And then she's gonna do that same side to side action. She's just going to move her hips side to side. And I want you to think that your hip points move towards the edge of the mat and then move towards the other edge of the mat, east to west. Your knees aren't doing the work. Your knees are pretty stable. You're using your heels to move the hips. Yep, and I want you to move more. Good, so then that's moving big and side to side. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yes, and then all the way back. These hips are shifting side to side. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yes, one more time. And then she's gonna come back to center. You may need to reposition the balls at any time they do move. You're moving them, so don't be afraid, like they're not stuck in one place. And you're gonna do that cat-cow again. You're just gonna tuck the pelvis and release the pelvis.
Sort of there. Nervy area.
You're gonna do this about 3 to 4 times. Remember, if it's a hell no, we are working above and below. We don't want to force anything. Nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move the balls down once more, and we're going to go to the soft, squishy glutes. So you will be off of the bones of the sacrum. You'll be just below them. And it'll be squishy because those are your glutes. Nice. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna let it compress, taking a few deep breaths. And then you'll move your hips side to side again. Good, really think about, you wanna take up surface. You're on the glute max, on the surface level, and it's a big muscle. You're going with the tissue fibers here. So you want to get in there and move your hips to get into those big glutes.
Yeah, I can feel that connective tissue there. That's more so cool. Adjust them a little bit, just in case you need to adjust them. And keep rolling.
Yep, you do everything like 4 to 8 times is usually like the range that you're working with the movements. And it doesn't have to be super long and slow. You're not moving fast. You can, it's just not like, it's not a yin style. It's like a slow flow.
Yin is boring.
Oh man, I love yin.
You like yin?
I love yin. With the right teacher, of course.
I need targeted stuff.
Okay, so now, it's targeting your fascia. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, you're gonna keep the balls in that same plane, but you're gonna move the left one out 1/4 inch. Yep, it's more into that lateral hip. Now what Nanette's gonna do is she's gonna open her knee to the side, half butterfly, and then she's going to bring it back up. So now we're pinning the ball and we're doing some movement around it. You're feeling that?
Yeah. I feel like something needs to pop. I feel dorky inside. Something needs to pop. I feel like my own clients. That's what they tell me.
Now what we're gonna do, she's gonna bring her knee back down this one last time. And we're gonna do a little PNF. So if you've ever done that with your chiropractor or like a massage therapist, is where you contract a muscle, hold, and then you release. So what Manette's gonna do is she's gonna push into the side of her foot, her pinky side of the foot, and she's gonna squeeze her glute. She's gonna squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So you're gonna lift up and off the ball because you're engaging your muscles a little bit. Squeeze, 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 and now we're gonna hold. You're not holding your breath, you're just holding the glute contraction. Your knee is from that driving out towards the floor. Hold one last one. You're gonna take a really big breath in, and then on the exhale, you're gonna let your glutes completely soften and melt, and the ball will kind of dig into the glutes. Nice. And then we're gonna do that one more time. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the glute, squeeze the glute. Yes, yes. Yep, you're gonna hold that, but without holding the tension. So your muscles engaged, your jaw doesn't need to be engaged, your shoulders don't need to be engaged, your chest doesn't need to be engaged, just that glute muscle is squeezing, your breath is flowing. You're gonna take a really big breath in, and on the exhale, let everything sink and melt, let the ball kind of dig into that glute, and then we're gonna check out the other side. Reposition the balls, reposition your head. Yes, you.
All right, look at here.
And now we're gonna try the other side.
Side. And then that's it, I got
Yep,
it.
and you're gonna do about 3 or 4 times, just opening and closing the leg. So open and close.
It's feeling good there for a second. I forgot. We'll get to that. Ugh. Yeah, the opening, closing. It gives you the pressure point there.
And it's right like at the back of the hip socket. So she's working that tissue that's going around where that hip locks in. Let the knee fall open. She's gonna squeeze the glute, and we're gonna hold, hold. Your hip lifts up, so let that happen. Don't try to sink into the ball. We're holding, we're breathing, there's no tension.
Sorry, guys. That light duty is nuts. Ooh, I got the black one. Ow! Ow, don't! Ah!
And then on an exhale, release. Yeah, so this is what happens. It can be pretty intense side to side. Good, let it relax.
I thought the last one was bad.
All right, we're gonna do that one more time. Squeeze and engage your glute.
It's like weak too. It's weak and painful. It don't squeeze as much as the last one. So it hurts.
Relax your face. Relax your body, just keep the glute squeezed. And on your next exhale, go ahead and let that release down. Let everything melt, pause there for a minute, and then bring that knee back up. Maybe. And then roll side to side, just work that out.
Mama.
We're gonna finish here. It just gives you some good insights, but I encourage you to work down a little bit more into the glutes, and you can continue probably one more full ball length down and do the same thing. Roll side to side, open and close, and then do some of the engage and release.
Just like this.
Yep.
I rolled it down a little bit. Now it's at where the femur head meets the socket of the hip. So that's where I just put it right now.
Right
so
at the
that's
back.
a nice spot. Yeah, right there.
Getting into all those obturators.
Let's do this really quick just to make sure that we... These balls are painful. It's not painful, but you know, it's just tight, you know?
And they can be, because it's usually the fascia that's really tight, a lot of people can have emotional
I was gonna cry.
reactions.
Yes, I did. My eyes got teary a little bit. I'm not gonna
So again, that just kind of shows how the emotional body of the fascia holds all of that. So when we get in there, be gentle and soft with yourself. You don't know, or you don't necessarily need to know either what's coming up, but let it flow. You're working it out, you're moving it out of the body. Long, smooth, deep breaths. My breath is my home. I am safe.
Alright, that's good.
Alright, so good.
You guys are hooked up. Practice this. 2 recovery days.
Great.
2 times a week? How many times? 2 times a week? Whenever you feel like it.
Whenever, I mean, you could do it every night if you wanted,
There you
like
go.
3-4 nights a week. You can do it. You can roll the whole body. I love to do it before I work out because if I get that fascial release for a moment in time, that fascia has length, and then I can train in that space and begin to create and cultivate more range of motion, more space, more elasticity. Now it may tighten and come back, but the more we release it and strengthen in that space, we begin to cultivate and create that space.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, dude.
See you guys. Like, subscribe,
Share.
invite your friends. Tell them about this. Practice, learn.
If you want to work with us, you can work with us. We do remote as well, in person in the South Florida area.
Reach out to us. We'll check you out.
Ask us questions.
Yeah,
Let us know what's up.
See ya. Next one, grounding
Much love.
motion. Yay! Oh.